Hey, what's up everybody, welcome back to one more Tom Clancy's Division 2 video. Appreciate you guys clicking on this video. So on today's video we are going to be talking about armor regeneration builds, right? Before Tile Update 11, armor regeneration builds was something that a lot of people liked using because, you know, it was really cool having that armor regen without having to actually use medkits, or just to kind of for a survivability type of build, either for PvP or PvE. The problem though is that before Tile Update 11 you had to sacrifice a lot of damage and a lot of attributes to get even close to 100,000 armor regeneration on a build, right? You had to have a lot of armor with a lot of blues throughout the build. But guess what? On Tile Update 11 you can make a armor regeneration build a lot stronger, but also if you want to, you can balance where you can have a good amount of damage and still have an insane amount of armor regen, which is I have on this build, which is going to be 106,000 armor regen, and still do anything solo on heroic difficulty that allows me to kill the NPCs on a decent amount of time, right, with a decent amount of damage. Today's video, that's gonna be my armor regeneration build for solo players in the Tile Update 11 with a AR. So if you're gonna go and enjoy this video, a like would be super appreciated, and if you're new, to subscribe to the channel for more Division 2 content and more to come. And yeah, let's get into this build. Alright guys, so this is the build. As you guys saw in the clip, this build still do a decent amount of damage for a super tank build, and you see throughout the build we don't have a lot of blues, like the whole build as a blue build to have that amount of armor regen, right? And that's possible to two new items that was added to Tile Update 11. One's gonna be the exotic backpack, the Memento, and the second one is gonna be the new brand set, which is the Bellstone Armory. Now let's start off with the Bellstone Armory chest piece, right? So by equipping one Bellstone Armory, you get 1% armor regen right from the bat, right? So in this chest piece, we have core attribute armor, which is what comes with the Bellstone Armory. Attribute, we're gonna have armor regen in here. It's not max, but it's close to, and then critical hit damage. The mod is gonna be another critical hit damage, and then talent, we have the new refresh talent, the Obliterated. Basically this talent will give you a 25% weapon damage to your build just by critting on your enemy, right? And that can stays for 5 seconds. So as long as you're shooting an enemy, you're gonna be gaining that damage. So make sure you have some critical hit chance on this build, that way you can take advantage of this talent, because you need to crit to activate the talent and get that 25% weapon damage for 5 seconds. The second way we're going to be getting the armor regen is going to be from golden gear, the second bonus from the second piece, right? By equipping one piece you get a 10% status effect. By equipping two pieces you get 1% armor regen. So this and the Bellstone is already 2% armor regen on the build. The core attribute from golden comes armor, and then attribute, we're gonna get some armor regen in here with some critical hit chance, and same thing is gonna go for the gloves, right? This is our second piece of golden on the build. Now moving for the third piece of armor regen is gonna be a named item, right? This named item is the Emperor's Guard. The specialty of this named item is because it comes with the attribute 1% armor regen. That's only gear that has that on an attribute, right? Now I did roll that skill tier that was in here that comes with a Murakami for a armor in here, right? Because we need armor. The second attribute is going to be hazard protection, which is not exactly what I want, but it's enough in here. I'm fine with that for now until I get a better Emperor's Guard. So there's a total of 3% armor regeneration on the build already. Now how we gonna get the rest of it? Because we're gonna be getting a total of 6% armor regeneration throughout the build, which is gonna put us at 106,000 armor regen on the build, and that's gonna come from the last piece, which is the Memento backpack. This backpack is the new exotic that came to the Tile Update 11 and is very good. Now without going into much detail about the backpack, because most of you guys know, right, how it works. Basically when you kill an enemy it will drop a trophy. By picking up this trophy it gives you the first part of the talent, which is 5% weapon damage, 10% bonus armor, or 5% skill efficiency, depending how many blues, reds, or yellow you have on the build. Now the second part of this backpack, it's where things shine, right? This is the best part of this backpack overall. So here is where we're gonna get that next 3% armor regeneration, because long story short, you can get max of 30 stacks on this backpack by picking up those trophies, right? And then by picking that up, you get a total of 30% weapon damage, 30% skill efficiency, and 3% armor regeneration for 300 seconds, which means 5 minutes. So that's gonna add up to the rest of the 3% armor regeneration that we having on this bottom part right here, right? With all of these brand set working together. So that's how we're getting all of that armor regen on the builds. So that's all we need. With that said though, to finish off this build, I just put a Ferris Group AB on the mask to kind of give me that damage. As you see right here, is all red, just to give me that damage, because I'm all set with the armor regen, right? I could go with more armor in here to get more armor regen, but that's I feel like that's enough, right? We don't need a whole armor regen if we can do some damage, right? Ferris Group AB is all weapon damage, critical hit damage, and critical hit chance, depending how much I have on my weapon, which is gonna be my FAMAS. So the FAMAS is the weapon choice on this build, one of the best, if not top one best assault rifle in the game. I have assault rifle damage and health damage, of course, with the attribute of damage to target out of cover, and the talent Optimist. Optimist is basically, a long story short, gives you a 13% weapon damage to your gun. The way I mod it, it's gonna be critical hit chance everywhere, because we're gonna need critical hit chance and then plus 20 rounds on the magazine. So with that said, let's take a look at the stats. If we go on the weapon, we have 45% critical hit chance with 90% critical hit damage. Now those are low numbers, but remember, we have a tank build where we are sacrificing a lot of red attributes to get that amount of armor, right? So even with that, I'm still able to kill NPCs with this amount of damage pretty fast for a solo player, right? And I can clear content, heroic content, with no problem, right? So going on the defensive side, we see right here, this is where the whole purpose of the build, getting over 100,000 armor regeneration. In this case, I have 106,000. Like I said, you could go even higher, right? We can get maybe 110, 115 armor regen, but at the point where I'm having this armor regen, I feel like that's enough. I just put the rest on my damage, right? Because I need to kill the NPCs. I don't need just to regen. I need to kill to actually make the build viable. Now the reason why you are seeing that armor regeneration right now on the builds, that 106, because I just finished a mission, right? So it's still activated, right? So before any mission or before you get those stacks, you're not gonna see that amount of armor regen. As a fact, the amount of armor regen that we're gonna see before the stacks is gonna be 60,000. So from 1.5 million armor, 3% armor regen is gonna be 60,000 armor regen. That 106% armor regen is that's gonna come after I get those 30 stacks from the backpack. Just wanna clear that out so you guys can understand what's going on, right? On top of that, we have 153,000 armor on kill. That's coming from the gunner itself, because that's the specialization that we're using, but you could go with anything else that you want. I just recommend the gunner to put more damage and also survivability with that 10% armor on kill on the build, right? Because we are already at 1.5 armor on the build. So yeah guys, that's my armor regeneration build for Tile Update 11. Let me know what you guys think of this. This build basically makes me not use the medkit most of the time. Like maybe 99% of the time I'm not using the medkit at all, because I just gotta get in cover or play smart, and my armor is gonna come back at full, you know, potential, right? So yeah, this is the build. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If this was helpful enough for you, hit me with a like, I would appreciate. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more Division 2 content and more games to come in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.